The Womier K66 is a super unique budget 65% keyboard that you may not have heard of, but after this video you will know everything you need to know about this keyboard and will most likely want to pick it up as it has some of the best RGBs in any keyboard I have ever seen. I'm gonna do an unboxing as well as a full review right after this. First, I want to thank Banggood for sending out this keyboard for me to review, but I will be completely honest in this video. Also, it would not be possible for me to create these videos without the support of each one of my subscribers, so thanks to all of you as well. If you're thinking about picking up this keyboard, please use my link in the description below to help me create more videos like this one, as it will give me a small kickback and it won't cost you anything extra. This keyboard comes in around $60 US, making it a great wired budget keyboard. So let's get right into the unboxing. So on the outside of the box here on the front it says Womier, take the helm to head for victory. Then on the back of the box here we have the same little saying it had on the front of the box. Then on the top right it says RGB illuminates LED. Then it's got the features and the specs as well. Then on each side of the box it says colored glaze, 66 key acrylic RGB Gateron quick swap keyboard. Then on the front side of the box it says 66 key, and then to the right of that it says the color of your switch. So that's everything on the outside of the box, so let's get into the box itself. It's got this flap on the front side of the box that you just have to pull to open. And then once you open it, you will see that it has the little quick start guide, which says the product features, the package contents, the technical specifications, and the function illustration. And then on the other side it has all of the same in Chinese. So let's pull out the keyboard and put that to the side. Then underneath that we have this USB-C cable. It's a nice white thin cable. It's not really a thick cable like most other keyboards, but it is replaceable, which is nice. And then that's everything in the box itself. So let's move on to the actual review. This keyboard is made out of 3 pieces of acrylic held together by 14 screws on the bottom of the keyboard. It doesn't have a metal plate like most other keyboards, making it very lightweight, weighing in at 1.27 pounds or 527 grams, but it's not as sturdy as other keyboards as well. With that being said, it is still very well made. This is a 65% keyboard, meaning that it has 66 keys compared to the 61 keys on 60% keyboards. This means that it has arrow keys and the insert and delete buttons. This is probably my favorite size for a keyboard, as it is only slightly bigger than a 60% keyboard, but is a lot easier to get used to because of the extra keys. The USB-C port is on the right side instead of the standard left side, which the Maya Pro also had. Like I said in my review of the Maya Pro, I don't really mind this and I kind of prefer it, but a lot of people do not like this as it could get in the way of your mouse movement if you are right-handed. You can also physically see the port attaching to the PCB, and you sometimes have to look at the port to plug it in because the cutout of the port is bigger than the USB-C itself, but other than that the quality of the port is pretty good and the cable plugs all the way into the port without any wiggling. On the bottom of the keyboard it has 4 rubber feet, with the back ones being slightly higher than the other 2, but it is still pretty much flat and there is no way to raise it. But you shouldn't mind the angle it is at, as you are supposed to type with the keyboard flat and your wrists off the desk, as an angled keyboard forces your wrist to bend upwards and can cause your wrist to start hurting over time. The keycaps on this keyboard are matte white and are ABS and double shot, meaning the legends may fade eventually over time, but the LEDs do shine nicely through the keys. The matte finishing on the keycaps helps to keep away fingerprints better than if they were glossy, which is cool that they included that. The first thing I noticed was the legends were at the bottom of the key instead of the top of the keycaps like most other keyboards I have used. This doesn't really affect anything other than that it just took me by surprise. They likely did this because the RGB lights underneath each key are south facing instead of the north facing of other keyboards I have used. You might run into some problems with replacing the keycaps, as the Windows and function keys are 1 unit instead of the 1.25 units of normal keyboards. And even more of a problem is the right shift is 2 units instead of the normal 2.75 units. The 2-unit right shift key is pretty uncommon, but you can still find keycaps for this keyboard. You'll just have to look a little bit harder to see if they include these size keys. I got it with Gateron red switches, but they also come in Gateron brown, black, and blue. To me, the Gateron reds feel even better and smoother than the Cherry MX reds. They have okay stabilizers that feel good and work as intended. Here's a sound test for the Gateron reds. There are some options online where this keyboard is hot swappable, allowing you to switch out the switches for any of your choosing. But do not try to pull the switches off this keyboard because they all say quick swappable on the box, even when they're not. There's a function layer to control the volume with the left and right arrow, page up and page down with up and down arrows, and the function keys are on the number row. However, there is no mute button, so it takes a while to hold down the button to mute. And to me, the volume button should be the other way around and should have the lower volume on the left arrow and raise volume on the right arrow. But it has it the other way around, which took some time to get used to, but you do get used to it after a while. Also, it has no print screen, home, or end buttons on this keyboard, all of which I never really used anyways. It has the normal RGBs under each keys and also RGBs around the hole underneath of the case. With the frosted case, it diffuses the RGBs nicely and makes the whole keyboard light up. It executes this perfectly and has the best RGBs on any keyboard I have ever used. I find myself staring at this keyboard sometimes, it looks so good. You can control the lights under the case independently from those under the keys. There is no software for this keyboard as all the effects can be done through the keyboard itself. Since there is no software, it makes it a great plug and play keyboard, meaning you don't have to think about anything. But there is also no way to program macros on this keyboard. To control the RGB effect, you can use the function and right control for the RGBs under the keys, function and left control for RGBs under the case. Press function and space once to see all the color options and press the key with the color you would like the effect to be. And press function and space twice to change the color to RGB. Pressing function and insert will increase the brightness of the effect, and function and delete will decrease the brightness of the RGB. There is 18 lighting effects for under the keys and 4 effects and off for under the case. Here is all the different lighting effects you can do with this keyboard. We will start off with the under key effects. First is static, which is what I normally use on all of my keyboards. Second, we have wave. Then we have gradual breathing. Next is regular breathing of a single color. Then diagonal wave. Spiral. Reactive burst. Reactive fade out. Reactive throughout a whole row. Rainfall 1. Rainfall 2. Downwards wave. We have an ocean wave. We have a downwards diagonal wave. Another rainfall. Random diagonal wave where it comes from a different corner each time. And now onto the effects for under the case. First we have static. Next you can turn it completely off. Then a wave. And finally a rainbow breathing effect. This is one of the nicest keyboards I have ever used, and when you consider the price it is at, it is insanely good. Although it does have some problems with the keycaps, and it doesn't have any software, but it is still a great plug and play keyboard with some super nice Gateron switches which feel great to type and play games on. Overall, if you're looking for a cheap compact keyboard that will look nice in your setup, I could not recommend this keyboard enough. I would also like to thank Banggood again for sending out this keyboard, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications, and follow me on Twitter at JustinTechTV.